Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rossum's September 2021 product launch. I'm Peter Baudis. I'm one of the co-founders of Rossum, and I'm the CTO of Rossum. And yeah, I'm very glad to meet you all. We have over 300 people registered here on the webinar from a wide range of enterprise companies. Today I'm really excited about our product launch because we are going to announce what we believe is a major milestone and quite a game changer in the whole arena of document automation solutions. I think this will be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. But first, I would actually like you to stop and think for a second about the most challenging aspect of automating document processing in your company. What's your biggest challenge? Is it perhaps the time to value? How long it takes for any solution to take from the drawing board and implement and train your operations team on it and get really going with it? Or is it the complexity of the project? Perhaps it's just too much coordination needed across many different systems, and more importantly, many different teams, the operations team, the implementations team, the services team, and so on. Or is it the costs? Because maybe it's simply too expensive to roll out an automation solution when you count in all the total cost of ownership, right? All those aspects are some of the reasons why at Rossum we build the all-in-one document gateway, which for us means a single unified platform handling many different documents, all sorts of the incoming documents to a company, a solution which offers end-to-end business communication solution, all the way from receiving the document to getting the data to the right target system. For today's, most importantly, a solution which is designed for a zero friction rollout. That means there is as little friction as possible in implementing this solution. And this is really important aspect that we really care about. Let's dive a little deeper into what does zero friction mean in the context of the three document processing challenges that we just talked about. For example, for Molson Coors, one of our customers, it means reducing the time to value radically. For Molson Coors, the entire process from purchasing a solution to production deployment in the infrastructure, it took less than 3 days. Quite a few things aligned well there. We had a very competent integrator, to be fair to say, but overall, this is one of the things that's really possible with a zero friction rollout solution. For Flexport, a hyper-growth company offering revolutionary solutions in the logistics space. It was about simplifying the complexity of the deployment. There we were able to minimize the impact on Flexport's core development teams working on their in-house solution by handling most of the integration on our side and having our expert taking care of that and minimizing the coordination between many different teams by just delivering an end-to-end solution. For PepsiCo in Central Europe, one big advantage of a zero friction solution was cutting the expenses. Rossum made a project of automating document communication feasible and economical for PepsiCo because it was the experts on our side in our global services team who are intimately familiar with the platform to customize the platform as needed for the specific needs of PepsiCo. But I'm not going to lie to you. There is a key challenge that we tackled with each of our key customers. Because in some way, each of them is unique, and many of them have some needs that we cannot address out of the box completely. Maybe it's a custom document, maybe it's some special automation rules specific to their use case, or maybe they just have their own in-house platform they need to integrate with. So those are things that no product can offer completely out of the box as part of their core feature set. But still, these are characteristics that we actually love and embrace, because diversity, even diversity in business, every company being different, that's something that we celebrate. But we do realize that this means we need to customize the platform for them. And the platform is our platform, Rossum platform, is actually designed to be heavily customizable. It's one of the main differentiation points of Rossum, but it still means an implementation project that needs to be set up. And when we talk about customization and implementation time, those things are in very tight tension. There is a big conflict there, obviously, going on, because customization very often means that the implementation time is ballooning up, and we have to take it as a fact about the current state of enterprise platforms, that no implementation project is ever quite as fast as we would like. No implementation project is quite as simple as we would like, and with as little moving parts and coordination problems as we would like. And no implementation project is ever as cheap as we would like. The costs implied by being not as fast and not as simple, it just implies some costs. And today I'd like to think about whether there is a better way. There is a better way that we can do this. Whether it's possible to have an enterprise-ready platform with customization capabilities, so that it takes just minutes to set up the customization and tweak the platform for your needs. Whether we can have an enterprise-ready product that has no organization overhead and no complexity and coordination problems when being customized for a specific customer, and whether an enterprise-ready customization, whether we can have an enterprise-ready platform which has customization capabilities that don't cost any developer time. So it sounds quite egregious, right? But today, I'd like to introduce the Rossum Store. The Rossum Store, it's our central hub for ready-made extensions. When we talk about Rossum extensions, those are essentially apps which can customize the document automation platform that we have and customize its behavior in a specific way to solve specific use cases for each individual customer and each individual scenario. So today we are launching the store itself along with the initial 6 extensions. So just to run through them quickly, we are launching a document sorting extension, which can automatically sort incoming documents into the right queues to differentiate between use cases based on different document types. So you can sort your invoices separately from your receipts in just a few clicks, and obviously have this heavily configurable. We are launching extension which implements a wide range of configurable checks specific for the accounts payable use case, often in the procure to pay, but also order to cash, relevant to order to cash processes. So an extension that checks many different aspects, like whether the fields are matching, whether the due date looks right, whether the total amount matches the line item amounts, and so on, and can help the automation, but also to point out potential problems in those documents. We are launching an extension for advanced email filtering rules, so that you can specify which documents for sure are not relevant. It can be leaflets, contracts, maybe documents that are in incoming emails, incoming communication that are not just relevant for you. We are launching two extensions for database matching, vendor matching extension, and purchase order matching extension based on line items as a functionality available just in a few clicks. And we are also launching NetSuite Automation Suite, which enables out-of-the-box integration of Rossum with the NetSuite Enterprise ERP system. And it's not just a one-side integration, it's an automation suite in the sense that it's a two-way synchronization tool that also brings data from NetSuite to Rossum that helps Rossum increase the automation rates for documents and fill those databases and enable this vendor matching, for example. Those 6 extensions, they are just the beginning. They are just some of the most common themes, most of the common patterns and requests we see from customers, and which we can now implement much more rapidly in the Rossum store as extensions compared to just having them as core functionality. And it's a lot more flexible way. And we are already working on doubling this selection very, very soon. One more thing I'd like to notice, you to notice on this screen in the bottom half is that literally anyone can actually build an extension. We are going to open the store to our partners as well, and that will bring hundreds of more ready-made extensions to the store provided by third partners and newly created software vendor ecosystem. What the Rossum store brings is, we believe, much faster time to value, because customizations are now, it's not now possible to set them up literally in a few clicks. We believe this brings much simpler customization process to make sure the platform is serving exactly your needs. You can combine several store extensions, several pieces of this functionality very, very easily. There is no limitations regarding that a priori. So you can tweak Rossum exactly as you need, just as you are tweaking the functionality of your phone, just by installing the right combination of apps. And obviously, this reduces commercial risk because you are paying just a predictable product subscription fee, not a developer fee or implementation fee. So this should make your purchasing process, procurement process, much easier. I'd love to actually show you this in action. Let's dive into it a little more. Just a quick demo in the app itself. To set the stage, let's come back to a favorite company of ours, Dairy Products Ltd, UK-based food producer that we use in many of our launch events, if this is not your first time. We have this company, and as many other companies, their main pain regarding communicating with their business partners is the time waste on document processing, going through those documents, handling them quickly, and so on. And they would like to improve this. But if a company wants to improve this kind of process, implement a better solution, an automation solution, they have very typical challenges. They have a challenge with waiting time for especially IT team resources. Those IT teams are typically very busy, especially if it's a fast-growing company. They are handling all the acquisition, system integration, and so on. So it's hard to request more work from them. It's the matter of actually coordinating between many different teams. You might have an accounts payable team, an IT team, a business intelligence team, and then those, for example, external NetSuite integration consultants. You need to align all of them and make the project happen. And in the end, it's also, quite frankly, about the budget allocation. You need to show a sufficient ROI, sufficient return of investment, where you need to show like the improvements are gonna be worth the implementation cost. Let's take a look at how can we help Dairy Products Ltd, and what would be the traditional professional services way of a traditional data capture vendor. There is like a scope requirement. It would be scoping requirements, waiting for the implementation, iterating on the feedback, it would be very legacy process, and what we see on the market often happening, what the stories we hear from our customers, easily 10 weeks for something like for a typical implementation project in a company like this. What's the way of the future? What's the Rossum Store way that we are enabling today? It would be just the matter of opening the store itself, clicking and trying the required features, experimenting with them very rapidly, tweaking the configuration as you need, and that's kind of it. And you can get quite a lot of done. Much of the any customization that you need, as long as it's supported by the extensions in the store, easily within 1 hour. Let's take a look at how that works in practice, because I'd really like you to get a feel of how this process looks like. So now we are live in the Rossum store itself, and maybe let's actually first take a look at you have already seen this screen. So first, let's take a look at how do those emails, those incoming emails to those company, how can they easily look like? So we can have an email like an expensing request, which can be often mix of a lot of different things. So let's say we want to send in a single email, or we don't want to, as an accounting department, to receive emails like this, but it's the reality of life that we are receiving emails like this, right? Maybe it's a mix of a receipt from Albert Heijn, maybe it's in some random language, then there is a tax invoice, and then there is some completely unrelated document like, some leaflet with some invitation or something. And we are sending the combination of all those 3 documents in. And what we would like to do is we would like to filter the irrelevant documents, and we often need to separate different types of documents to separate queues to be able to capture the right kind of data. So let's take a look at how maybe what we can do is we can send this email in. We will come back to it in a moment in the Rossum platform itself, and let's take a look at those extensions. So we can set up advanced email filtering, which is exactly stripping documents like this leaflet that we have been that we are sending. We don't want this kind of documents, right? So advanced email filtering, if you want to set up a functionality like this, you just click in the store and you click this try extension button, and this actually will already set up the extension so that you can use it immediately or within 1 minute, but it's kind of the same thing, right? This configuration is here you can customize exactly how this behaves. For example, what kind of file names you want to filter out, what kind of types of documents you want to filter. Obviously, this is gonna get more user friendly over time, but you can customize this very easily. And then we can also set up another extension, document sorting. And with document sorting, what you can do is again just a couple of clicks, and then here you can configure rules which specify that different types of documents are going to different queues in Rossum. That means different data is captured from them, so that your accounting team, they will want their receipts separately from their tax invoices. And this is exactly what this does in just a couple of clicks. So let's take a look in practice. We have sent in this document, which is now an incoming document. Let's take, actually we've sent an email with multiple documents. We now have also a recent capability, this dedicated email dashboard. And I can see this document right here is the document I've sent in. And you can already notice that there is no leaflet, no grand opening picture that I have sent from Gmail, because that's been filtered out by this extension. And we have those two attachments, but those 2 attachments, they are not in this queue. Instead, there is a separate receipt document in the receipts queue where it has been automatically sorted out, while the invoice is in a separate queue and has been correctly sorted to a different flow. So we have just set up those 2 extensions, and we have radically improved and customized the capability, the email ingestion capability of Rossum by mixing those two extensions. But let's take two more steps because we are talking, let's say, about the accounts payable scenario. We would definitely also like to just again within just a couple of clicks enable a whole variety of account payable checks. So we can do that. It can be whether the amounts are matching, whether the due date makes sense. Again, it's quite easy to configure this. And tweak this, and we'll make this even more user friendly again. But already anyone at least slightly technical is more than capable of doing this. And then we can also set up a NetSuite integration, and it's as easy as again clicking a button. And here your IT team, it would take them just 5 minutes to fill in the credentials, the IDs of the account, and some keys and secrets. A very fast process, and that's essentially it. It's possible also to tweak if you have some custom field names and so on. Obviously, this is all configurable, but in many cases, this is not even necessary. And then if we go to one of those documents like this tax invoice, let's say that, okay, everything was captured correctly by Rossum, but let's say that someone would make a mistake and capture the subtotal instead of the total. And thanks to this extension that we just enabled, we now get a warning generated by this extension that's warning, okay, the amount total is not matching the subtotals. And this is all completely configurable, but also quite sophisticated, quite a lot of checks already out of the box. And if we confirm this document now, we can go to NetSuite, and we will have the document here. This has been a bit streamlined to make it faster because the NetSuite integration is a bit slow sometimes. But if I click view here, let's see how that goes. Maybe I'll just switch to what I've loaded in the separate tab, and here you can see all the data, everything that we have captured in Rossum directly here. And we also, importantly, the vendor is already correctly associated with the record in NetSuite, and so on and so on. So I just really wanted to show you this in practice, and just recap the demo. What just happened? If we are the Dairy Products Ltd team implementing this automation, we have led them to go from a 10-week setup to just 1 hour. They now require no development resources to do customizations like this, and they can do this much more cost efficiently, even though some of those extensions are for free, but others are paid and for purchase. One important thing I want to reiterate is that Rossum Store and the whole extension environment is an open platform. So we are launching a new Rossum Store partnership program for independent software vendors. You have the software vendors and integrators. You can all now reach hundreds of Rossum customers. You can reach some of the world's top enterprises. And we are looking to create a rich ecosystem of third-party vendors. This is not all, obviously. What I've just shown you is just the beginning of the journey for us. There are two major directions we are going to expand this in. The first one is really opening this up to hundreds of extensions. And those extensions can do a variety of things, from improving the data capture capabilities of the core platform with additional functionality, all sorts of random but important for some customers, things like QR code scanning, all the way to entirely new communication capabilities and fundamental capabilities and add-ons like fraud detection. There is many great fraud detection systems, and integrations with those are perfect matches for Rossum extensions. Also, the second main direction we are going to improve this in is introducing ready-made scenarios for whole use cases. Let's say you would like to process bills of lading in Rossum. That's absolutely possible right now. But again, we are looking at how can we do this in zero friction way. And we want you to just be able to click on a bills of lading button in the Rossum store and to get a pre-trained dedicated AI engine, a suite of automation checks and all those associated features very, very easily for a wide range of use cases. And some of those would be created by Rossum in-house, but we are already in talks with partners to provide their own use cases, dedicated engines trained by their teams and automation checks developed by them. So even this is where we are looking at opening this up to third parties and really build a thriving ecosystem. And also so that our customers, when they use Rossum, they know that they have this flexibility and they can be looking forward to increasing support over time and more capabilities, not just built by us, but by all the third-party vendors entering the Rossum ecosystem. So I believe that today, with the Rossum store capability, customizing the document communication process to your needs, to your specific use cases is easier than ever. But I just want to say briefly that that's definitely not all that we have been working on in the last 3 months. I'm super proud of our R&D and product teams because we have launched over 140 individual improvements last quarter. Just to highlight a couple, in the area of communication, we have now the new email filtering capability. We have this new email dashboard that I've shown just briefly during the demo. We now also have EDI, initially EDI functionality in closed beta. Let us know if you are interested in that. We made tremendous progress in automation, and that's something that we'll likely talk about in the next product launch. We keep as well. We keep improving how we handle complex tables and complex documents, both in terms of accuracy, but also speed of learning, and just the automation quality and transparency in terms of API and explainability. And also, just to mention, we already have Chinese support in closed beta. Again, looking for design partners if this is something that's interesting and relevant for you. And obviously, we are working on making the platform more and more enterprise ready. Just an example, now large organizations using Rossum, large enterprises can have many different organizations and administer them in a centralized way across those different organizations. There are no longer hard boundaries between organizations, and that really makes managed deployments and those large scale deployments scalable in terms of maintenance. So thank you for experiencing this, what we really believe is a big game changer with us. I'd like to invite you to explore the Rossum store right now. If you have a free trial account, or if you already have a production account, in both cases, you can find the Rossum store functionality in the platform right now. We would love to hear from you in case some of this functionality is interesting for you, and also in case you have any feedback or any ideas, or would like to partner up together in bringing more functionality there. Please get in touch with us at ask@rossum.ai, or just reaching out to your Rossum representative. Thank you.